Your alarm goes off at 6:47 in the morning. You reach for your phone. The light comes in soft through the curtains. Somewhere outside, a dog barks twice, then goes quiet. The coffee maker hisses. Your city breathes. Everything is exactly as it should be. And then, in a single, impossible moment, it isn't. No warning, no countdown, no sound from the sky. The Earth, this 4.5 billion-year-old spinning sphere of rock and fire that has never, not once, stopped rotating since the day it was born, simply stops. And the question that will haunt the next 15 minutes of your life is this: would anything, anyone, survive what comes next? Here is what nobody tells you about the Earth stopping. The planet stops, but you don't. Right now, as you sit watching this, you are moving. Not because you're in a car, not because you're walking, but because the Earth beneath your feet is spinning at roughly 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. You've been moving at that speed your entire life. You were born into it. You've never felt it because everything around you, the air, the buildings, the oceans, is moving at exactly the same speed. This is the deception of inertia. Objects in motion stay in motion unless something stops them. The Earth can stop. Your body cannot be stopped that fast. In the first fraction of a second after the Earth halts, every unanchored object on the planet's surface, every human being, every car, every tree that isn't rooted deeply enough, is flung eastward at nearly 1,670 kilometers per hour. Not thrown gently, launched violently. The way you'd be thrown through a windshield if a car hit a wall at highway speed, except the wall is the entire planet and the car is the atmosphere, and you are nothing but a soft collection of water and bone. People near the equator face the worst of it. The further you live from the equator, the lower your rotational speed. Someone in Norway might only be moving at 800 kilometers per hour. But near Lagos, near Singapore, near Quito, the force is almost unimaginable. Before the first second is even over, billions of people are already gone. But the people are only the beginning. Here is what happens in the first minute. The atmosphere, all 5 million billion tons of it, does not stop with the Earth. It keeps moving. It becomes in an instant the most catastrophic wind event in the history of this planet. Winds at the equator exceed the speed of sound. Not a hurricane, not a tornado. A planetary shockwave of air tearing across the surface at speeds no structure ever built by human hands was designed to withstand. Entire cities are stripped. Not damaged, stripped. The Sahara is scoured down to bedrock. The Amazon, in a matter of minutes, becomes a corridor of splinters. Buildings that took centuries to build, cathedrals, skyscrapers, ancient temples, are reduced to fragments that travel eastward like bullets. And then comes something even the atmosphere wasn't prepared for. The oceans move. Water, like air, like you, was moving with the Earth's rotation. Now that momentum has nowhere to go. The oceans surge eastward, piling up against continental coastlines in waves that make the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami look like a ripple in a bathtub. We're talking about walls of water. Some scientists estimate up to 2 kilometers high, crashing over coastlines and driving inland for hundreds of kilometers. If you're enjoying this journey, and you're curious about the hidden science behind our universe, then you're exactly the kind of person Need Beyond was created for. Take a second to subscribe and join us as we explore the biggest mysteries of space, science, and reality itself. One extraordinary question at a time. Now let's keep going, because what happens next is even more incredible. In the first hour after Earth stops, the eastern coasts of every continent are erased. Not flooded, erased. The megatsunamis don't stop at the beaches. They climb mountain ranges. They fill valleys. They carry the remnants of entire civilizations, bridges, hospitals, libraries, and drag them back into the sea when the water retreats. And when the water retreats, it does so at the same terrifying speed it arrived. The suction alone is powerful enough to pull structures off their foundations, to rip roads from the earth, to hollow out coastlines that took millennia to form. Now pause, because here is where the science gets truly unsettling. Why does all of this happen? What force exactly is tearing the world apart? The answer is the same force that keeps water in a bucket when you swing it in a circle over your head. The same force that presses you into your seat when a car accelerates. The same force that makes the blood rush to your feet in a fast elevator. It's inertia, Newton's first law. An object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. For 4.5 billion years, the Earth's rotation has been that force, the constant, invisible engine that keeps the atmosphere distributed, the oceans balanced, the magnetic field alive, and the planet habitable. Remove it in an instant, and every system that depended on it collapses simultaneously. It's not one disaster. It's every disaster all at once, globally coordinated by the physics of a world that forgot how to spin. The magnetic field, generated by the movement of molten iron in Earth's outer core, doesn't disappear immediately, but it begins to weaken. And without the rotation that powers it, within decades it would degrade. Without the magnetic field, the solar wind, that constant stream of charged particles blasting off the sun, would slowly strip away the atmosphere itself. The same atmosphere that, right now, is trying to kill everything by moving too fast, would eventually vanish entirely. Earth would become Mars, thin-aired, radiation-soaked, and silent. But that is a future problem. In the immediate aftermath of the Earth stopping, there are more pressing concerns. 24 hours after the Earth stops, the survivors, those deep in mines, those in heavily fortified underground bunkers, those lucky enough to be at the geographic poles, where rotational speed was near zero, emerge into a world that is almost unrecognizable. The first thing they would notice is the sun. Because the Earth has stopped rotating, the sun no longer rises or sets in the usual way. One half of the planet bakes in permanent, relentless daylight. The other half freezes in permanent, absolute night. The day side, facing the sun without reprieve, begins to heat. Temperatures climb past what any known organism can survive. Rocks crack. Sand fuses into glass. The remaining oceans on that side begin to evaporate. On the night side, temperatures plunge. Antarctic cold spreads across entire continents. The ground freezes solid kilometers deep. The atmosphere begins to condense, quite literally snowing oxygen and nitrogen in some of the coldest regions. Within 1 week, the jet streams, the high-altitude rivers of air that distribute weather across the planet, have collapsed. Without rotation, the Coriolis effect disappears. Weather systems don't spiral anymore, they just sit there. Enormous static pressure systems baking or freezing vast regions with no relief. No seasons, no cycles, just permanent extremes. Within 1 month, the equatorial regions of the dayside reach temperatures approaching 100 degrees Celsius. The ocean surface there boils. The resulting steam creates massive permanent storm systems, hurricanes of superheated vapor that have no analog in Earth's natural history. The night side, meanwhile, becomes a landscape of breathtaking, terrible beauty. A frozen world of crystal-clear skies, unmarred by light pollution. Stars visible in numbers impossible to count, and a silence so complete it is almost sacred. But no human being can live there. Now extend the timeline. Not days, not years, millions of years. Without rotation, the slow redistribution of mass within the Earth, the gradual movement of the liquid mantle, the drift of the tectonic plates, eventually shifts the planet's orientation relative to the sun. The geography of day and night would slowly migrate. New regions would bake. Old frozen wastelands would thaw. The process would be geologically slow and biologically violent, but it would mean the planet is not permanently divided. It would be chaotically, unpredictably dynamic. Life, if anything survived the initial catastrophe, would evolve entirely differently. Deep-sea creatures, insulated from the surface chaos by kilometers of water, might endure. Microbes in the deep crust, feeding off chemical reactions rather than sunlight, would likely not even notice. Life is extraordinarily resilient, even when human civilization is not. In millions of years, the planet might find a new equilibrium, tidally locked as our moon is locked to Earth, always showing the same face to the sun. Exotic, alien, but perhaps in its own strange way, habitable again. Evolution is patient in ways that human beings are not. But what about us? What would it take for human civilization, any fragment of it, to survive? Hope lies beneath the surface. The geological record shows that the rock just a few kilometers underground maintains a stable temperature regardless of what happens at the surface. No wind penetrates there, no tsunami, no radiation from a depleting magnetic field, at least not immediately. Deep mines, some in South Africa, extend more than 3 kilometers underground, would be among the safest places on Earth during the first hours of the catastrophe. Governments and scientific institutions have, for decades, quietly maintained plans for civilizational continuity in the event of global catastrophe. Seed banks, data archives, emergency protocols. But none of those plans were written for this. This scenario outpaces them all. The survivors in any realistic model would number in the thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, scattered across the planet in locations that combine geographic good fortune with pre-existing infrastructure. Mountain communities far from the coast, polar research stations, underground facilities built for other purposes that happen to be in exactly the right place at exactly the right moment. Food would be the most urgent crisis. With surface agriculture impossible, survivors would rely on whatever stored food they had, combined with underground hydroponic cultivation under artificial lighting. Fungi, which require no sunlight and can grow on organic material, might become the primary food source for an underground civilization. Insects, nutritionally dense and easily farmed, would likely follow. Water, surprisingly, might be more available than expected. Aquifers, underground reserves of water trapped in porous rock, exist across the planet and would be unaffected by surface catastrophe. With the right filtration technology, underground communities could access essentially unlimited fresh water for generations. But the psychological weight of surviving in permanent, artificial environments, knowing the surface above was either scorching or frozen, knowing that the familiar rhythm of day and night was gone forever, that weight would be the most difficult challenge of all. Human beings evolved for a spinning world. Every biological clock, every seasonal rhythm, every cultural tradition is built around the rotation of this planet. Without it, we would be aliens in our own home. Here is what this thought experiment ultimately reveals. We treat the Earth's rotation as background noise, a given, something so constant, so dependable, that we have never, not once, stopped to feel grateful for it. We don't thank the planet for spinning. We don't think about the fact that this particular speed, one rotation every 24 hours, is the reason our weather systems work, the reason our oceans are distributed evenly across the planet, the reason we have a magnetic field protecting us from the sun's fury, the reason every morning follows every night in a rhythm that has been unbroken since before the first creature looked up at the sky and wondered what was up there. The Earth's spin is not a detail, it is the engine of everything. Take it away and the sky becomes a weapon. The oceans become an army. The atmosphere becomes a storm that never ends. And the sun, the same sun that has given us life, warmth, agriculture, seasons, poetry, and the ability to tell time, becomes a torch aimed at half the world and withheld entirely from the other. Tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off at 6:47, when the light comes in soft through the curtains, and the coffee maker hisses, and somewhere outside, a dog barks twice and goes quiet, remember this: the reason that morning exists is because a planet the size of 1,000,000 Earths is spinning at exactly the right speed, in exactly the right direction, with exactly the right tilt, around a star that is exactly far enough away to keep the water liquid and the air breathable and the life possible. It has been doing this for 4.5 billion years without stopping. It will almost certainly never stop. But the universe does not owe us certainty. The morning is a gift. Every single one. Don't forget to be astonished by it.